Graham, as of today, you're fired. Huh? Ken? As in Ken Jenkins, company president? Good morning. I hope you don't mind me asking, sir, but what's this all about? Why would you tell me I'm fired all of a sudden? Because you're fired all of a sudden, dimwit. I'm sure you've heard about my dad's recent passing and my ascension to his post of CEO. Well, I'm getting rid of all the dead weight at the company as part of my new policy. As of now on, we'll only be hiring people like myself with elite educational backgrounds. If you're not from a top 5 college, we ain't interested. Accordingly, I'm currently in the process of firing all employees found not to have an elite educational background. I'm sure you understand. How are we ever supposed to make it far in the industry with a bunch of uneducated dimwits weighing us down? We don't need morons like you around anymore, so you're fired. Jesus Christ, Ken, you're firing everyone who didn't graduate a top 5 college? Isn't this a little extreme? This is going to cause all sorts of problems for the clients I'm responsible for managing. You do know I have contracts with a lot of companies, right? Don't worry about that. I'll be taking over all of your roles as of today. Huh? But how? If these client relationships are so simple a pea-brained dimwit like you could handle them, I'm sure we'll be fine. So you're not even gonna find me a replacement? Like we need a replacement for you! You have the IQ of a potato and a workload lower than my dead grandma! I could do your job in my sleep! Are you being serious? This company's going places now that I'm in charge of it, which means we can't afford to have a bunch of deadweight potato brains holding us back. To be honest, if these clients were low-grade enough to be involved with you, we're probably better off without them. There's no point in replacing you. It'd be a waste of a salary. I see. All right, we're done here. I don't want to see your face around our company again, do you hear me? As of today, you're officially without a job. Thanks for your service. Olivia, I'm coming home now.
Huh? Graham, what's going on? Did something happen? You left for work this morning just like always, right? Are you clocking off early? Are you sick?
I got fired.
You got fired? What the heck? Why? Why would they fire the sales manager at a company with 10 employees? What happened, Graham? Aren't you the only one there with the skills required to negotiate client contracts? I remember you telling me most of the other guys there were fresh out of college and a little wet behind the ears. I can't believe they'd fire you.
Apparently, the new CEO's only hiring people who graduated a top 5 college from now on. Obviously, that means they'll be rejecting 99% of new applications because very few people actually graduate a top 5 college, and even fewer of those would be interested in working for our company. Naturally, a high school dropout like me never had a shot.
What? Are you for real?
He didn't even replace me. Apparently, he'll be taking on all of my responsibilities himself.
Graham, wait a sec. Maybe this is actually for the best.
What? It was for the best that I got fired?
No. I don't mean it in a bad way. Listen, his dad, the old CEO, was the one who hired you after you dropped out of high school due to what was going on with your family at the time, right? I was so shocked to find out he died in a car crash recently, and obviously it's really tragic. But with an idiot like that in charge, do you really think the company has a future? At least this way you can get out early, instead of having to endure a slow descent to the bottom.
Olivia, that's actually a good point.
Besides, he might have said the reason he fired you was because of your educational background, but isn't it more likely that he just has a grudge against you?
A grudge? But why?
I told you before we got married, right? About how that arrogant dimwit was constantly hitting on me back in college, always trying to get my attention in the most obnoxious ways. It was like he couldn't take a hint and kept showing up everywhere I went, thinking he was irresistible.
Yeah, I remember that. After you guys all graduated, he joined the company as a regular employee, right? But when he found out me and you had been dating ever since middle school, he started treating me like crap at work and making the most ridiculous demands of me and only me. He did calm down when word of him throwing his weight around at the office got out to his dad, and he gave him a stern telling off, and he's been quiet ever since. But now that I think about it, I doubt his resentment ever went away. If anything, he probably hated me more after thinking I'd ratted on him to his dad.
Right? The fact that he started behaving like his old self again the moment he became CEO tells me it's exactly like you say. His hatred didn't go away. It was just bubbling away under the surface, kept in check by his dad. But now he's gone. He's totally out of control. He appears to have absolutely no idea how valuable you are to that company. I don't think it has long left. Oh, would you look at that? The moron himself just messaged me as I was writing all this up.
Wow, no kidding?
I did try blocking him ages back, but he got even more persistent and irritating in real life when he couldn't get through to me anymore, so I unblocked him again. I hadn't heard from him for months until just now. Damn it, what does he want this time? It looks like this whole situation is about to become an even bigger pain in the ass.
I just got to the station. I'm gonna rush home as fast as I can, so I won't reply till I'm back. See you soon, babe.
Okay, sweetie, be careful.
Hello there, Olivia, my sweet aromatic sugar dumpling. It looks like you're gonna have no choice but to marry me real soon. Listen, babe, that low IQ fiancé of yours made a huge blunder at work that led to the whole company's IT systems going offline for the day. I had no choice but to fire him. It wasn't an easy decision, but I knew this is what I was getting myself into when I stepped up to the role of CEO. It's just like Batman says, with great power comes great responsibility. Naturally, being a hopelessly stupid high school dropout, his prospects of finding a new job after this are less than zero, so I'm guessing he probably didn't tell you yet. Am I right? My hunch is that he'd rather marry you as a jobless NEET than admit to being unemployed and risk you leaving him. If you're not careful, he could end up leeching off your salary for the rest of your life. It's a sad reality, but everyone knows high school dropouts are 96% more likely to be scumbag leeches than normal human beings like you and I. I think it's about time you tossed that good-for-nothing parasite by the wayside. I, on the other hand, I've decided to make you the CEO's wife. Of course, that means you can quit your current job to ascend to your new post of blessed fortune, riches, and social status. But by post, I don't mean within the company. Oh no, you, my sweet darling angel, are gonna be a stay-at-home housewife living entirely off my vast riches in comfort, luxury, and style.
Shut the hell up, you pea-brained moron.
What?
Graham doesn't work for you anymore, so I can drop the act now, right? It feels super relieving to be able to let you know exactly how much I hate you, asshole.
Olivia?
Graham already told me about how you fired him.
What? He told you of his own volition?
He told me straight after you did it as he was on his way home. He just got back and now he sat right next to me.
You mean he actually admitted he got fired? What the hell's gotten into him?
Me and Graham love and respect each other, which means he'd never lie to me about anything. Also, he and I are not engaged.
Huh? You mean you broke up? Ah, fantastic, magnificent, excelento. This is like music to my ears, baby. This means me and you can finally tie the knot and be whisked away in our very own love roller coaster.
No, doofus, we got married 6 months ago, which means I'm his wife now.
You're his wife?
Not only that, but I'm pregnant with his child.
Pregnant?
Yes, so unless you enjoy wasting your time, I think it's about time you gave up on me for good, Ken. I'd never betray Graham, no matter what, so just leave us alone.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. My honey princess, my treacle bear, the apple of my eye, my precious Olivia, got married to a high school dropout? You let a high school dropout get you pregnant? I think I'm gonna throw up. I was sure that once I finally became CEO and fired that no-good loser, I was finally gonna get you all to myself. I can't believe this. No!
Graham, your old coworkers Magnus and Halfthor are here.
Huh? Like Halfthor and Magnus are at the house?
Yeah, apparently they made their excuses and left early so they could come and see you. I told them you're at the local municipal office to do the procedures for changing your health insurance card right now. Do you think you'll be there much longer? What should I tell them?
Well, if they went out of their way to see me, I imagine they must have something pretty important to talk about. Could you ask them to hang on a little longer? I'm almost finished here. As long as they don't mind, of course. I should be back in like 15 minutes.
Got it. I'll pass on the message.
Hey, asshole! How dare you steal all of my clients? 90% of our regulars just terminated their contracts with us. We're gonna go frickin' bankrupt at this rate. You get your ass down here and bring these clients back right now, you worthless high school dropout prick. You should have thought about that before firing me, you despicable, low-life shit-weasel. What did you just call me? Did you just call me a despicable low-life shit-weasel? What the hell does that even mean? Anyway, that is no way to speak to your superior. I am the CEO. Of what? A failing company that I don't even work for anymore? On what planet do I have any obligation to treat you with respect? I'm not held back by my position anymore, which means I can call you whatever the hell I like, and that's what I intend to do. I'm still the CEO. Not only that, but unlike you, I have a college degree. Do you have any idea how important I am? You important? In spite of that amazing degree of yours, you're clearly too stupid to understand that the moment you fired me, you stopped being my boss and became nothing more than the irritating asshole who was trying to steal my wife behind my back. You should be grateful I'm even taking the time out of my day to reply to you, you verminous plague rat. What? My wife could take you to court for stalking if she wanted to. Do you even realize that? Stalking? What the? We have mountains of evidence, so go ahead and keep trying to provoke us if you think your financial situation isn't already bad enough. Because I promise you, we could easily make it 10 times worse. Oh, whatever. This crap about your wife isn't why I messaged you. Give me back my clients! Ah, of course. The trouble is, I couldn't give you those clients back even if I wanted to. Why not? You probably think I conspired to bring them with me and carry on our business in secret when I got a new job or something, right? Well, you did, didn't you? Nope, I'm still unemployed. Huh? One of my buddies offered me a managerial post at the new company he's starting next month, so it's not like I don't have anything lined up. But it's an entirely different industry to your company, so my relationships with those clients were essentially terminated the moment you fired me. We're no longer involved with each other, and probably never will be again. Wait, What? But if that's true, why would they terminate their contracts with my company? Their termination notices started showing up in my inbox practically from the moment I fired you. I lost 90% of the company's clients in 2 weeks. Does that even happen? I can't frickin' believe it. This ain't normal, and I know you're involved somehow, so just come clean with me already, damn it! You appear to be completely unaware of how your company actually works, despite being its CEO. But I had meetings scheduled with every single one of the 90% who just abandoned you to negotiate contract renewal for next year. It's not that they terminated the contracts, they're just not going to renew them. But if you understood the basics of corporate management, you'd know that, wouldn't you? Anyway, as of the moment you fired me, there was no longer anyone at the company with the knowledge or experience required to negotiate and finalize contract renewal procedures. I was the one in charge of ensuring the continuation of those contracts, and with me gone, they couldn't carry on working with you even if they wanted to. What the hell? No way. Surely that can't be. There must be at least one more person here with a college degree who knows how to do the contract stuff. Sure, but he went on extended leave last month. What? With that, I was the only employee left on the sales team. I did try to explain to you that it would be a good idea to employ someone else to help keep things running smoothly, even if only on a short-term basis until he came back, but you barely even listened to what I had to say before rejecting my proposal outright. I had no choice but to keep running sales entirely on my own. Then, to make an already ridiculous situation even more absurd, you fired me! Then to make an already absurd situation so outrageously farcical that it became positively hilarious, you didn't even find me a replacement! What the heck? I have no idea who took over the client discussions over next year's contract renewal after I left, or whether anyone even did, but there's no way anyone at that company was capable, knowledgeable, or experienced enough to pull something like that off. The clients had no choice but to call off the negotiations because there was nobody they could talk to. So that's what happened. I see. Graham, get your ass back down to the office immediately. You need to re-establish those meetings for next year's contract renewal right now. Impossible. What kind of attitude is that? Don't give up before you even try, damn it. You seem to be forgetting one minor detail. You fired me. Whatever, that's all water under the bridge now. I take it back. You're unfired. Don't worry, there's no need to unfire me. What? Why? You said it yourself, you're still not working, right? Sure, I know you said you're waiting to work at your buddy's company, but you know as well as I do starting from scratch in a new industry is going to be a huge amount of work. Come back to us and get me back these client relationships, Graham, and I'll see to it that you have a comfortable, well-paying job for the rest of your life. Won't you understand unless I repeat myself? Understand what? That you're nothing but a despicable, low-life shit weasel who kept hitting on my wife behind my back. Why would I want to work at your company? Grr! I'm gonna need you to stop wasting my time with these asinine messages too, Ken. Fine. Point taken. I'll leave Olivia alone, okay? I promise. Now come and get your job back. You seem to be missing a key point here. Tell me, Ken, is your company even functional right now? I heard from some of my old coworkers earlier today that the entire company handed in their resignations in one fell swoop. I really would have to be the low IQ, pea-brained moron you think I am to come back to a company that's not even operational. Good luck, Ken. I'm sure there's no problem you can't fix, what with having an elite education and all. Oh my God. My company. I don't know how much longer it has left. That's not my problem. Graham! I genuinely hope you can turn things around. I know how hard your dad worked to build that company. And as unfortunate as it is that he ended up with a son like you, it'd still kinda suck to see it go under. That said, I won't have any part in it. You're on your own now. As for you, I couldn't care less what happens to you from here on out. Grr! Later! The next day, Ken launched a sudden assault on our house. By sudden assault, I mean he showed up on our doorstep with a megaphone screaming, "Ken, please come back," to the supreme annoyance of our neighbors, resulting in the police being called and him being carted away in the back of a patrol car. But actually, I heard all of this from an old neighbor because me and Olivia were no longer there. That's right, we'd already moved into a bigger house in the next town in preparation to accommodate our growing family. That said, we took great pleasure in seeing the videos of him being handcuffed and bundled into the back of the cop car that went viral on local social media pages. Unfortunately for Ken, it didn't stop there. Before the day was up, footage of his arrest was being circulated on the social media pages of every rival company in his industry. At this point, the destruction of his reputation was just insult on top of injury. Realistically, between the near-total lack of clients and mountains of debt he was in, the company was already screwed, but his arrest proved to be the final nail in the coffin. And before the week was up, he was filing for bankruptcy. I wondered where he went next. Until one day, a buddy messaged me saying he saw him working on a construction site. Apparently, he saw him crying his eyes out with a look of abject despair on his face while being shouted at by someone who appeared to be his boss.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Zora, you get your butt over here and do the chores at once. This will be 1 week of you not listening to a single word I've been saying to you. Do you have any idea what that means for you? That means you are going to have to come here and clean up 1 week's worth of garbage. That means you're going to have to come and clean up 1 week's worth of laundry. That means you're going to have to come here and buy 1 week's worth of groceries to fill this empty fridge with. It has been 1 week now since you cleaned the house, so now everything is covered in a layer of dust. And it has been 1 week since you cleaned out the inside of my bathtub, which has led to there being a thin layer of grime forming in there that is completely disgusting. You seriously need to get a grip, woman. Now come on. Hurry up and get that tiny little butt of yours over here and do the chores. I want the chores done now. Now. Jace, can we talk right now? There is something I'd like to ask you about, actually. Something very important that I thought was already handled.
Hey, Zora. Today is my day off, so I could talk with you all day if you'd like. So tell me, what did you want to ask?
You talked with your mom about how I want to go back to her house during my last 3 months of pregnancy before I have to give birth, right?
Of course I spoke to her about that. When you first went over to their house about a week ago, I spoke with my mom about it, and she understood everything I was saying. At first she was totally against having you go over to her place, but when I spoke with her about how I'd have to leave to Australia for a while based off a work transfer I got, she said it should be fine letting you come. So, all in all, she did come around to saying yes and making it at least sound like she understood what you wanted to do.
I see. Well, for some reason, it doesn't seem at all like she understood what you and I meant.
What? What do you mean by that?
I'll send you a screenshot of all the things your mom was saying to me today by text, and I think that'll give you a hint as to what I mean by her not understanding.
Sure. What was she going on about? You were only gone for 2 hours, and my mom was drilling into you about how you needed to come back to her house and do all those chores for her.
Ever since you and I got married, this has happened from time to time, but I had thought that me being pregnant now would get me a pass, and I wouldn't have to worry about all those things anymore. I don't think she cares about the fact that I need to rest and care for this baby.
When I spoke to her, though, she told me she understood and was fine with you going to her place. Later, I'll give her a call and explain to her in more detail what I meant by that.
All right, please do that for me.
And if she continues to act like that towards you, you don't have to bother with listening to her. Honestly, you can go ahead and just block her if you really want to.
No, I'm not going to block your mom's phone number, Jace.
Are you sure about that, though?
This is something my mom told me before, and that's that it's best to make sure both sides are completely calm before making any moves so that things are understandable for both people.
I see. So basically, there is no point in shutting her out by blocking her until she's calmed down and we understand one another.
That's right. If I were to block her right now while she's still upset, I would only be making things worse for the both of us.
Well, it's not like my mom knows anything about where your family lives, so even if you did block her, there'd be no way for her to find you if you moved back to their house.
But we should be a bit more cautious before making such a big move as that.
Understood. But really, I'm sorry that my mom is always doing things like this. I never, and I mean never, thought that this would happen again. The moment I left for Australia, it seems my mom took that as the perfect time to start bullying you again. And right after I explained to her that you just wanted to relax at her place before having our baby.
Jace.
However, due to this, I've remembered something. I've told you before about how I have an older brother who's 5 years older than me, right?
Oh, right. You told me about him once. You said that while you were in college, he went and got married and moved into a place close to your parents' house, right? However, after just 6 months, his wife and him both moved away without telling anyone in your family and has pretty much cut ties to all of you ever since.
That's right. Him and I are still talking every so often, actually, but he won't ever tell me where he and his wife moved away to. Really, we just talk whenever he wants something from me. And every single time we talk, he makes sure to tell me not to tell my mom and not to give her his contact information. That's how badly he wants to stay away from her, I guess.
Hey, don't tell me...
You know what this means. I only just started to think about this a bit more. But my mom must have really harassed the heck out of my brother's wife.
Don't you think it'd be a good idea to ask your brother about that? I'm sure if you explained to him what's been happening with me, he'd want to open up a bit.
That's a great idea. I'll ask and see. Now, I should be getting back to the States when it comes time for you to have the baby, but until then, do not be afraid to call me if you have anything you need from me. The time zone difference kinda sucks, but I'll make sure to always keep my phone by me for you.
Thank you. Will do.
Zora, you went and tattled on me to Jace, didn't you? I want to know what all you told him about me. Because he was beyond upset with me when he called. He told me to stop making a pregnant woman do all my chores and that I needed to be the one taking care of you. But I know what this is all about. You are just using your pregnancy as an excuse to not come to my house anymore to clean. I don't mind you staying at my house and relaxing, but that does not mean you can slack off from doing the chores here. If you understand that, you will be working all day from sunrise to sunset starting tomorrow. I'm going to make sure you make up for that whole week of not doing any of the chores here by forcing you to do them all in one day. Come here at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Jace, your mom is doing exactly what we predicted.
What?
Can I send you some more screenshots of the text she sent me? I can tell you what she told me, but I think it would be far more easy to understand if you just looked at these for me.
Sounds good. Please send them all to me. Thanks for those screenshots of everything. So it seems that me warning her about what she'd been doing didn't make things any better, and actually just caused her to start throwing a fit about it.
That's what it looks like. I don't think you warning her is going to be of any use to us from here on out.
I went and chatted with my brother about what happened with him and his wife, and he told me exactly what we thought. The reason those two left is because my mom would harass his wife. And I'm sure the reason why my dad divorced her a year ago had to do with the way she was behaving as well. At least that's what my brother was saying to me about my mom. My brother told me the reason he never said anything to me before about all of this is because he thought things would change after he ran away from my mom. And the reason he would always ask things from me about how my life was going was to check up on me and make sure nothing had gotten worse.
I see.
Yet my mom is doing the exact same thing she did to my brother's wife, to you now, and it doesn't seem like she's going to listen to anything. Anyway, we cannot let her behavior towards you carry on all the way up to when you have our babies, so we have to do something. My mom doesn't know anything about your parents' house, right?
I don't think so.
But who's to say she won't be able to find out?
I'm sorry this has you all worked up while you're on your business trip.
Don't be. She's my mom, so I should be sorry for all the crap she's causing you now.
I have talked with both of my parents about your mom, and they said they can help me deal with her if need be. So, do you think you can start to think of what to do after I have our babies?
So, about what to do once you've had our babies?
Of course, I'll be thinking about all of that as well. I'll take a look online and see what others have to say about things like this.
Good idea. If we don't think about what to do after you have the twins, then there's no telling what my mom might do to get to them, and to take even more advantage of you by harassing you. Honestly, I can only see one outcome to all of this. Maybe it's best that we leave some of this stuff in the hands of your parents, since they are there in the States with you and can give you the best support. When the time comes, though, where I want to pull the plug on her, I'll let you know.
Understood. Tell me whenever you want to and are ready.
Mom, I have something to tell you. Very late last night, Zora gave birth to 2 cute twins. She didn't have any complications, and we now have 2 little boys.
Is that right? Congratulations, Jace.
Now listen, Mom. Please, please, please do not do anything to make the situation any worse between Zora and you now, since she just gave birth and is very tired.
All right. I suppose I'll be going now. Thanks for the good news. I heard the news. You gave birth to both of your babies without there being any complications. However, what does it matter that you had both of those babies in the middle of the night? You don't have to carry the both of them around now, so you can come here and cook for me, clean for me, and do the laundry for me right now. I will not allow you to slack off any longer. Now you get back to my house right now, and don't you dare waste even a second more. Linda, you've given birth to a baby before, right? Excuse me? Well, I was shocked to finally see you replying to me for once, and that's the kind of rude question you're going to ask me? So does this mean you don't understand anything about what happens immediately after giving birth? Because in most people's cases, you have to stay at the hospital for a while afterwards, and for about a day, you don't have the energy to do anything besides lay in bed. I am tired of listening to your stupid arguments. Get your ass over here right now. Is that what you really want? Understood. Jace, I just got a couple of texts from your mom.
And how did things end up going?
I'm really sorry to have to say this, but it's no use anymore. She not only knows about how I had to stay up all night giving birth, but that I had to give birth to 2 babies at the same time. Yet the only thing she had to tell me was that I couldn't slack off from doing her chores, and that I had to go over to her house right now. She even told me not to waste a second more.
Is that so? I guess this is it then. You can leave the rest of this to me.
Excuse me, Zora. I just heard the doorbell ring and I thought that it was you finally showing up to do all these chores. What the hell is going on right now? So this means your son has finally arrived at your house then. He also brought along some of your family as well as some of my family, which means there should be 15 people in total there right now to see you.
never said that I wanted Jace coming over here. I said that I wanted you. You. Now I have 15 people in my house right now, all doing the chores for me, and that's not what I asked for.
You told me that your place hasn't been touched in forever and needed to be cleaned up badly, right? So I thought that instead of having me, a smaller woman who just gave birth to twins and is all beaten up now, come to your place, it would be better to have 15 healthy people come over and do all that work for you.
But can you even imagine what things are like right now?
I'm sorry, but I'm starting to feel a bit sick again, so I'm going.
Zora! I am asking you to please do something about all this. At least get all of your family out of my place. I've even been trying to get Jace to do something about all of this, but he won't answer me, besides with a massive grin on his face as he vacuums the floors. Jace, what the hell have you been doing? I thought all of you guys had come to my house to clean it all up for me, but really, you all were working to prepare my house for me to move out?
Have you gotten off the plane now and arrived at your new home?
I thought that you said you were moving me closer to your brother, but now I'm out at this tiny house in the middle of nowhere with nothing around me.
Well, at least you can be away from all of us now, and we'll find it hard to trouble anyone out there.
Huh? I'll find it hard to trouble anyone out here?
Mom, do you still have no idea why you've been forced into such a sad situation as that?
What are you trying to say that I've done?
So you really have no idea then, huh? Well, let me give you the answer then. You've been harassing my wife.
Huh?
You did it once before with Jake's wife as well, right? And when his wife told him about how you'd been bullying her so much, he moved away from his house near you and never spoke to you again, right? He was really hoping something like that would have opened your eyes and that you would have learned your lesson. But nothing changed, and this time you chose to start harassing my wife when she'd been carrying our twins.
Hold on a minute. What are you going on about right now? It is the job of the husband's wife to listen to whatever his mother asks of her, no matter what, right? As a way of teaching her how to become a good wife for you, I was asking that she do all of my chores here and learn from them. Don't you dare start calling that something as barbaric as me harassing her.
Is that right? Since it doesn't seem like you're ever going to take responsibility for what you've done and change your ways, I really don't have any other choice. I'm taking a page out of Jake's book here, and I'm going to leave you now.
What?
Right after I got back from Australia, I had a word with my boss and asked that I transfer to another office out of state, and so we've moved.
What? You also moved out of your old place?
Yeah. And along with the move, I'll be changing my last name to that of Zora's. And that will set me cutting ties to you in stone, I think.
Jace!
Goodbye forever.
Jace? Jace!
It was a major shock to Jace that he had to live with his actual mother being the type of person who thought it was totally okay to harass her son's wives like that. But after being transferred to a new office and the four of us moving into a new home, where he could spend time with his newborn babies, he began to realize that it didn't matter anymore what kind of a monster she was. He's now feeling a whole lot better and will go out with my dad sometimes to go golfing, and will help my mom go do grocery shopping when he has the chance, creating a wonderful atmosphere within my family. Just a few days ago, I was even able to meet my brother-in-law and his wife for some dinner and drinks. Jace's brother was even kind enough to tell us where him and his wife are living now after the dinner we had. And it turns out they're both really close to our place and my parents' house. Which pretty much means, from here on out, we'll all be seeing each other a whole lot more and rekindling the bond between two brothers. Now, let's talk about what happened with Linda herself after Jace cut ties to her. She was flown out to the middle of nowhere in the Rocky Mountains, where she's now set up in a small cabin close to a very small town with not very many people living in it at all. The only way for her to get out of that town is by plane from the local airport or by car, taking around 8 hours in all directions. Both Jace and I thought that the town would be a great place for her, considering most of the people in the town were close to her age. But it turned out not a lot of them liked her toxic and childish behavior, and so she was shunned by a lot of them and will end up living the rest of her life all by herself, with no one coming to help with her chores. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Denise. It's been a heckin' long time. How have you been, girl? How long's it been? We must be going on 7 years now. Damn, it flew by. Feels like all that stuff went down a lifetime ago, and at the same time, it's like it was yesterday. It's funny how that works, huh?
Sorry, but would you mind telling me who you are?
You kidding me? It's me, Biff, you donut. Couldn't you tell? 'Cause I'm messaging you from a different number.
Huh?
What you mean, huh? It's me, Biff, your ex-boyfriend. Hang on, maybe that's not the best way of wording it. Your beloved ex-boyfriend and favorite person in the whole wide world, Biff. That's better. Remember me now?
If you're going to talk nonsense, would you mind doing it when I'm not busy? I get the impression you didn't message me for any real reason in particular, so if you'll excuse me, I'll be going now.
Hey, come on, Denise. I obviously did message you for a reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't be messaging you, would I? Look, quit jumping to conclusions and hear me out, alright? Sheesh.
Fine, what do you want? You better make it quick.
I decided to take you back.
Excuse me?
That's right. You heard me. I bet you're not so eager to get back to work right now, huh? It's an attractive offer, right? Right?
Which part of what you just said is attractive?
Huh?
7 years ago, when I was 26, you said to me you were bored of me because I was a worn-out old hag well past my prime and broke up with me, describing me as being on the wrong side of 30. After that, you immediately got with an 18-year-old, fresh-out-of-college intern from our workplace. Does any of this ring any bells, Biff?
Sure, everything you say is true. It's not like I deny it, but I was young back then, babe. I've matured a lot since then.
You were turning 31 years old, 5 years older than me.
Men and women age differently. Unlike a woman, a man hits his prime when he turns 30. Women? Well, I hate to say this, babe, but it's all downhill from there. Things that used to be beautiful and plump start sagging. Things that used to shimmer and glow start wrinkling up. Basically, 30 is where women hit the wall.
In that case, why on earth would you be interested in getting back with me? I'm 33 now. I shouldn't have to spell it out, but that means I'm older than I was when you broke up with me. You don't think time froze and I stayed 26 this whole time, right?
Don't be silly, babe. That's clearly ridiculous. I forget how funny you can be sometimes, Denise. I always did like that about you.
All right, so I take it we're done here?
Wait, why?
Because me and you are not getting back together. What else is there for us to discuss? You're doing nothing but wasting my valuable time here.
No, wait just a sec, damn it. It's been so long since we spoke. Are you really going to dip out on me like this? Let's at least chat a little while longer. You know, reminisce over the good old days. Talk about what we've been up to all this time.
Do you really think I have that much free time on my hands?
Whatever. Don't worry about that. I'm sure whatever stuff you need to do can wait. Sometimes it's good to catch up with an old flame, you know? Hey, wait a sec. What's wrong, babe? Scared you, I don't know, catch feelings from me again? I guess I wouldn't blame you if you did.
Ew, that's one of the cringiest things I've ever heard.
Cringy? Hey, whatever. Look, I guess I always admired how you said exactly what was on your mind. You're kind of cute when you got all feisty, you know, babe.
Yep, gross.
Anyway, I heard some stuff. Is it true you changed jobs after we broke up? Heard you landed a job at a major New York-based company.
What's it to you?
Well, me and the girl you just mentioned actually moved to New York after the breakup. Crazy coincidence, right?
I knew that. So what?
Wait, you did?
Of course I did. I worked in the department next door on the same floor as you both. She was an intern being trained up on your department after graduating college, right? What was her name again? Was it Rena? How could I forget the time the two of you skipped across the office holding hands while singing, "We're going to New York," to hand in your resignation letter to the manager? I swear it was the most embarrassing, vomit-inducing thing I've ever seen. I could tell your head was so clouded by your feelings for her you'd completely lost all of your rational decision-making skills, because why the heck else would a fully grown man act like a 12-year-old kid in front of his coworkers like that?
I see. Is that really how happy we look back then?
I guess happy is one word for it, but some might prefer to describe it as hopelessly delusional or maybe childish.
I see. Well, I get what this is. I didn't realize how jealous we were making you at the time, babe. I'm sorry. It must have really sucked to see your man having such a great time with another woman like that.
Jealousy? Don't flatter yourself. I am obviously insulting you, you pea-brain.
I guess the fact that you thought about it that much betrays just how much you cared about me. I guess I can't blame you. You're hardly going to find anyone else up to my standard. I'm handsome, charismatic, funny, confident, capable, modest. I basically have every positive characteristic a guy can have.
Wow. Everything you just said is so absurd, I don't even know how to reply to it. Anyway, the bottom line is that it's not how people act in the workplace, especially not when they're handing in their resignation letters. It was honestly awkward to witness, and I wasn't the only one at the office who thought so.
Well, I guess we were young. That's just how people are around that age. You're overthinking this.
Young? Are you for real? You were 31 years old, Biff. If you think that justifies elementary school level behavior in the workplace, I think this conversation is beyond my capabilities. How about, I don't know, seeing a shrink maybe?
Geez, Denise, how about you give me a break for once? Can't we just let bygones be bygones? I've grown a lot as a person since then, so you don't have to worry about me doing anything crazy anymore.
Who you are now is totally irrelevant to me, and I literally could not care less.
Quit sulking, it's petty. Look, babe, I admire your feisty stubbornness, I really do. Look, if anything, I like it more when you're like this, because when you play hard to get, your cute side comes out.
So?
Huh?
So what do you want?
What do you mean?
It's been 7 years. The reason we broke up in the first place was because you were horrible to me about my age. Do you have any idea how crappy you saying all those things made me feel? I'm 33 years old now. Why would you want us to get back together after all this time? I just don't get it. None of what you're saying makes any sense at all.
Well, how to put this? I'm bored of dating younger girls now. First of all, we have nothing to talk about. I don't even know what half the crap these young girls babble on about these days. What even is a TikTok? Never heard of it. Maybe that wouldn't be such a big deal. Because it's not like I date them for their personalities. I date them for their butts, boobs, and pretty faces, and I ain't ashamed to deny it. But the problem is that these young girls' values and money sense is totally different to mine. Oh yeah, not to forget the most important one. I got frickin' cheated on.
Wow.
That girl, Rena, she said she'd rather be with a young, handsome guy close to her age. Look, babe, what I'm about to tell you never leaves this chat, okay? But she said to me, I could never be satisfied with an old man like you. You just don't stimulate me in the right places.
Oh my God, Biff. That was so rude. Oh, please forgive me. Okay, I'll calm down, I promise. Rena must be, 25 now? And you're 38? I see. It wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world if your stamina levels and, urges weren't very well matched to one another?
Who knows? Maybe. The bottom line is, we broke up. I still feel kind of pathetic over the whole thing. It was only a few weeks ago. Anyway, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity for me and you to get back together. You know, rekindle our old flame. So what do you say, sugar tits? Should we make another go of it? We're both in our 30s now, and I'm only 5 years older than you, so I doubt we'll even notice the difference. Besides, when you think about it, it's pretty obvious that this is the best opportunity you're ever going to get. You're 33 and well past your prime, so let's get back together. You must be seriously panicking about the prospect of never finding a man who'll marry you, right? Well, here I am. the solution to your problem.
And what, that's supposed to be why I'm supposed to come running back into your arms? Have you been smoking crack?
Come on, Denise, look, the whole hard-to-get thing is wearing thin now. This is obviously a crazy good offer for you. All right, well, that settles it. Me and you are officially a couple again. Excellent, superb, fantastic, magnificent. I can't wait for the make-up lovemaking. Okay, babe, I'll head over to your place. Tell me your address and I'll be on my way.
Why?
Oh, 'cause starting today, I'll be moving in with you. Me and you are going to be living together again, baby. Ain't that great?
Biff, I'm already married.
To me, seriously. Would you just be honest with me for a change? Look, you must be overwhelmed with joy at the chance to get back with a stud like me. So why not just admit it?
I'm overwhelmed with something, but it isn't joy. Try disgust.
I'm not kidding, babe. If you're not honest with me now, I'm not going to hang around forever. If I change my mind now, I'll never give you another chance. But I know this whole thing must feel a little weird for you, what with us having been apart these last 7 years, but that measly 7-year gap will feel like it never happened after one night of hot, steamy romance. And before you know it, the flame of our passion will be rekindled.
You are literally the biggest cringe lord I've ever had the misfortune of meeting.
Stop it. And how many times do I have to tell you this isn't the time for jokes? Denise, come on. Just say what's really on your mind. It must have been real tough for you, not seeing me for 7 years. I bet you thought about me every day, right? Well, this is finally your chance to tell me how painful it's been, how much you've longed for my tender touch, for the warmth of my big muscular body pressed up against yours, the minty smell of my breath as I whisper sweet nothings into your ears.
I'm gonna vomit.
Huh?
I think I'm actually gonna vomit.
Denise, you intend on sticking with this hard-to-get act, huh?
I'm being bluntly honest with you, Biff. What else can I even say? You willfully misinterpret everything I say to convince yourself I'm actually head over heels in love with you.
Oh, come on, that's silly talk. You know I'm not doing that. All I'm doing is telling you I'm willing to take you back even though you're 33. You do realize if you waste this opportunity, you'll end up growing old, alone, and childless, tormented on a daily basis by the thought of what could have been if only you hadn't been so stubborn.
I can assure you, you don't have to worry about me. I'm fine without you, thanks.
You are so not fine, Denise. That's why I'm trying to help you. Look, be honest with me already, goddammit.
Biff, why did you just ignore me when I told you I'm married?
Huh? Quit fooling around. There ain't a guy on this planet who'd marry a used-up, old 33-year-old past her prime like you. If you don't take me up on my kindness here, you're done for.
Go on then, I'll humor you. That's clearly not true. Because people are finding love, and having kids, at all ages these days. Your hateful ideas have no basis in reality, and to be honest, I'm actually impressed you believe in them yourself, because you only have to take a walk around the city to see what I'm talking about. People are getting married later and later these days, and that goes for both men and women.
Sure, maybe that's true, but you're obviously an exception, because you think about me every day. How can you find love with someone else when I'm the only man in your heart?
Yep, there you go again. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Huh? What do you mean?
I genuinely don't understand it. I have absolutely no idea what makes you think I think about you every day.
Huh?
Do you fail to understand basic English? I said I don't understand what makes you think that.
Because our hearts are connected. And not speaking for 7 years doesn't change that. A love as true and pure as ours never disappears.
Our hearts are connected? I'm pretty sure any kind of connection we had disintegrated the moment you broke up with me.
No way. That ain't true.
Let me say it one more time. I got married ages ago.
No way.
I have 3 children.
WTF? What the hell? You serious? You have 3 kids?
Huh? So this is the part where you suddenly start taking me seriously?
But why? Yeah, but how could you have kids with some other dude when you still have feelings for me? How could you do something so absurd? Look, I get that the thought of growing old, alone, and childless must have been terrifying, but to think you would ignore and repress your own feelings like that.
Ugh, I'm sick of telling you. Any feelings I had for you died a long time ago.
Huh?
You know, it's funny. They say it takes time to get over a breakup, but not with you. I was over you the moment you said all of those hurtful things. My feelings for you were as warm as a North Pole glacier.
No way.
I wouldn't get back with you even if the human race was about to go extinct.
Oh my God.
You need to get your head checked out, Biff, because this behavior is not normal.
No way, this can't be. I don't have anywhere to live.
Wait, what?
Listen, babe, the thing is, I've been really struggling to find a job ever since I quit my old one. Moved to New York to live with Rena, and she did fine. She found something else within her first month of arriving, but I don't know if it's because she's young. But she got used to life here straight away, and before I knew it, she had a job and was out socializing with her co-workers and making a bunch of friends, and I feel like I don't fit in here at all. It's like I slipped through the cracks and everyone forgot about me. I feel like a shadow of my former self. I can barely look people in the eye anymore. Even leaving the house is a challenge. I haven't seen daylight in a week.
Basically, you were lounging around at home all day like some lazy, neat sloth lord while Rita was out working to pay the bills? Then she kicked you out on the streets after reaching her wit's end with you after 7 years of providing for her man-child boyfriend? Did I hit the bullseye or did I hit the bullseye?
No way. That's not how it happened. Well, not exactly.
Yep, so you were sponging off her then.
You don't have to put it so coldly.
How about you answer the question I'm asking instead of taking offense with how I'm asking it? Rena probably felt anxious and uncertain about the future when she realized you were nothing but a leech who was quite happy to sponge off her hard work while lazing around the house all day. So instead of risking her entire future on someone clearly unreliable, she did the sensible thing and gave up on you instead. This might sound weird coming from me, but I think she did well to put up with you for a whole 7 years.
But
Biff, you do know you're almost 40 years old now, right? It's bad enough to be unemployed at your age, but the fact you're unemployed and not looking for work is nothing short of a disaster. Is there a reason you're not looking for work?
Well, not exactly.
If you're totally without options, why not just go back home and live with your parents? It might not seem very appealing, but I don't see what choice you have if you're not willing to look for work.
But they disowned me when I quit my job to move to New York 7 years ago.
I see. Find a job in the city then? You're in New York, Biff. There's work for those who really want it.
But I haven't worked for 7 years, and leaving the house is scary. Besides, I don't even know what kind of jobs to apply for. I saw an article the other day about how AI is taking people's jobs. How can you seriously expect me to be able to find a job when the world's gone to the dogs?
I'm not sure you have time to be making excuses, Biff. TikTok.
Anyway, the work can wait. I need to do something about the more pressing matter of not having anywhere to sleep. I got it. How about I come stay over at your place for a little while? You know, maybe just for a few weeks while I find something.
Have you no conception of how ridiculous you sound?
Look, if your husband's upset with me being there, how about we both bow down to him in apology? And I'll do all the housework to show him how grateful I am. All right, that settles it. Give me your address.
No way. You are not staying with us.
What?
Why should I have to bow down to anyone?
No, listen.
Besides, I'm not even in New York anymore.
Huh, what?
My husband and I moved to his hometown when we got married.
You gotta be joking me. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know, but relying on your ex-girlfriend clearly isn't the answer.
But
If you have enough time on your hands to be boring me with this bullcrap, get your ass down to the job center, you lazy bum. Can you believe how delusional that guy is? I knew he was bad news when he broke up with me, but after what happened today, I'm convinced he's even more mentally unstable than I first thought. After I blocked him, he managed to get through to his parents after spam calling them in a desperate panic to find a place to stay. Apparently, when he finally got through to them, he mentioned my name. As for what exactly was said, we found out later through a phone call from Biff's mom to my parents' place. His mom told mine that apparently I had begged his parents to forgive him for what he did and let him move back in with them. Obviously, when my dad spoke to me about it, he and my mom immediately realized it was a big steaming pile of bullshit and passed on the message to his parents. A few days later, his mom and dad called mine directly and apologized profusely. They must have realized he was too dangerous to be let loose on society because within a few days, his dad bundled him into the back of a van, drove him back to their hometown, and now forces him to work heavy manual labor on their farm, day in and day out. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing. Can you believe how arrogant Biff was? Jeez, talk about delusional. If you've ever known a Biff, let us know in the comments. We can't wait to see you again next time.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Why, hello there, Henrietta. You will be coming home to see me next Friday, won't you?
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I will. My husband will be bringing me over in the car, so I'd be super grateful if you could get someplace ready for me to leave my luggage.
Understood. Say no more, sweetie. A space will be cleared. I've already spoken with Katie, and she says she'll have you all the room you need prepared for when you get here, so don't you worry.
Thanks.
Still, don't you think things would have worked out better for you if you'd have come earlier? I'm pleased you decided on a home birth, but you're pushing it a bit fine. Aren't you 8 months pregnant now? You do work at the same company as your husband, and not only that, he's the CEO. Surely he could have pulled a few strings and seen to it that you got to go on maternity leave a little earlier.
That's, actually, it was on my wishes that I carried on working this late. If anything, I'm grateful he let me. Believe me, if Chris had gotten his way, I'd have been at home resting a month ago.
Really? Well, if that's what you want, I suppose it's not really my place to argue otherwise.
Well, thanks, Mom. I'll see you guys next week. I'll be leaving here to make it there sometime between 1 and 2 p.m.
Got it. Katie, have you still not cleaned the front hallway? And what the hell's going on with Henrietta's bedroom? You were supposed to have it fully prepared and spotless yesterday. What are you still doing in there? I know I told you to give your bedroom to your sister. And don't forget to put the baby's bed in there either. She's giving birth in a month.
I'm at work right now, Mom. Can't this wait? Why do you even have to rush me like this? My sister won't even be here until next week. I'll get everything done. Just chill out, okay?
Do not tell me to chill out, young lady. And I am sick and tired of you working all the time. What do you think you are, a man? You give me all this crap about being a remote worker, but I don't buy it. I bet you're just using it as an excuse to slack off and watch anime or something, aren't you? Even if you really are working, you can't be making much money. Get off your high horse.
I make more than enough money, actually. If you want to kick me out, then that's fine. I'll be out in a heartbeat.
Don't say such ridiculous things. With you gone, who's supposed to care for your heavily pregnant sister? She'll be giving birth in a month. Don't be so heartless. Anyway, what's gotten into you all of a sudden? Feeling bold, are we? Oh, give me a break. There's no way a good-for-nothing loser like you could possibly be brave or capable enough to leave this house and make it on your own. You're stuck here, and don't you forget it. If there's half a brain hiding up in that head of yours somewhere, I suggest you keep your mouth shut, do what you're told, and look after your sister.
Sure, whatever. Hey, Mom. I should be there in 30 minutes or so.
Wow, you're a lot earlier than I was expecting.
I made it off the highway, and I was expecting to be jammed up in traffic for hours on the way, longer than I expected, so I'll be arriving a little earlier than we planned.
Well, that's excellent news, dear. Oh, nobody likes being stuck in traffic. The thing is, I'm out for a spot of grocery shopping at the moment. Oh, Katie should be at home, probably holed up in her room like usual. Just get her to help you if you need anything.
Huh? Katie? But isn't she usually working at this time? I'd hate to disturb her while she was busy. I'm pretty sure she normally has a bunch of deadlines drawing close around this time of month.
Oh, don't be silly, dear. Apparently she's one of these remote workers. Did you know? I keep hearing about them on the news and social media all the time. I guess that kind of thing is in fashion now. If we're honest, there's no way she could be making that much money from her bedroom. Pocket money at best. It pains me to have to say this about my own daughter, but she's no better than a NEET. Feel free to use her to your heart's content when you get there. Lord knows lowly grunt work is all that girl's good for.
Hey, Katie, are you there? I just arrived home. Oh, hey, sis. Welcome home. Oh, thanks. Shall I help carry your stuff in from the car? Oh, listen, sis, there's something more important I need to ask you. I just saw you carrying something into the dog kennel in the back garden. But I thought that kennel belonged to our grandpa's old dog, Rusty, who died 30 years ago. I was sure it hadn't been used for anything ever since. Am I missing something? What were you doing in there? Oh, yeah, about that. What were you carrying in the kennel, sis? All of the things from my room. Huh? But why would you do that? Mom told me I have to live in there. Huh? You have to live in there? Sorry, I'm not sure I follow. It's fine. I hope you don't get the wrong idea. Granddad's dog was huge, right? I mean, he was before our time, but I've seen the pictures. It might be a kennel, but it's pretty much as big as kennels get, so it's not like I don't have space to live. Mom probably hasn't noticed, but I did some DIY and made a bunch of stuff for ease of living, and it's actually kind of a comfortable space to be in now. What the hell? You actually live in the dog kennel? But what do you do in there? Mainly just work. I also started sleeping there around a week ago. I sleep in there every night. Excuse me? The only problem I'm facing right now is the issue of what to do in summer when it gets really hot. Obviously, I don't have a cooler. I did find an old fan up in the attic, but it must be decades old because it's covered in rust and dust, and I don't think it works. I was thinking of calling a handyman and having him fit an AC system inside the kennel while Mom's not home. Katie, what the heck? Stop for a second. Could you tell me how you ended up living in the dog kennel, please? Huh? Jesus Christ, this is even more horrible than I imagined. Hey, Henrietta. Oh, I just got home. Sorry I'm so late. I bumped into an old friend in town and we went for a coffee and a catch-up. Before I knew it, it was nighttime. Hi, Mom. Did Katie help you? Yep. I had that worthless good-for-nothing sacrifice her bedroom to act as a baby room when the little one's born. Is that why she lives in the dog kennel now? Yes! I think it's perfect for a no-good waste of space like her, actually. Oh, what should we do about supper? Are you hungry? You haven't been home in ages. How about we celebrate by splashing out on some pizzas? Mom, I'm 8 months pregnant. Huh? So? Well, surely you know it's not advisable for me to be eating big, greasy slices of junk food. It's not that I don't want to, but I'm trying to look out for the baby with my diet. Oh, fair enough. Oh, that makes sense. Katie already made supper, so it's fine. Besides, I already showered. I'm too tired to do anything else tonight, so I'm gonna hit the hay. Good night. Oh, I see. Good night, dear. Katie, it's about what we discussed earlier. Oh? Mom just called you a worthless good-for-nothing. Is this how she normally treats you? Yes. What the hell is wrong with her? I always knew she had a habit of being unreasonably hard on you, but I never knew she had it in her to act like this much of a psycho. No way. Did she get worse when I moved out? Sure, she did, but I don't mind. I'm used to it now, so it's not a big deal. It so is a big deal! You've been getting a ton more graphic design work lately, right? I've seen how much they charge on those freelancing sites. You must be doing pretty well for yourself. Not only that, but didn't you land a project with Globex Corporation recently? I can only imagine how juicy their rates are. Anyway, Mom seems to be under the impression you hardly make any money. She's been treating you like dirt, hasn't she? This is unacceptable, Katie, and you don't have to live like this. Besides, there are people in this town who know about your job, right? You know how people talk and stuff. All it takes is for one of the neighbors to say the wrong thing, and Mom will find out you make far more money than she thought you did. If she finds out how much you earn, she'll get 1,000,000 times worse. She'll exploit you for every cent you have, I'm sure of it. I don't want to be exploited. Well, in that case, surely you understand this isn't the time to be laying around doing nothing. Yeah, a chill just went down my spine when I read your messages. I need to do some serious thinking about my future. It's probably best you reach a decision by the time I've had the baby. She'll probably be on her best behavior while I'm here, but I don't even want to think about how she'll get when I leave. I'll help you with whatever you need, sis, I promise. Okay. Thanks a lot, Henrietta. This really means a lot. Hey, sis, congrats on the birth. Hey, Katie, thanks. I get that you're probably still super tired, so I'll keep this short and sweet, but I've made my decision. I'm leaving home with you when you leave. All right, understood. Great. In that case, you can block Mom now. Leave the rest to me. Okay, sis, you got this. Just make sure you don't overdo it, okay? Thanks for always looking out for me. Hi, Mom. Apparently, Henrietta's getting discharged from hospital next Wednesday. That's what the doctors just told me while I was visiting her, so I figured I should let you know.
I see. Okay.
One more thing. Apparently her husband's parents will be visiting her the day before, on Tuesday, which means the hospital ward she's staying in is going to be unusually busy with people coming and going. I hope you don't think we're being rude, but it'd probably be better if you didn't come out of consideration for the other patients.
I see. I guess it can't be helped. All right, fine. I'll keep my distance on Tuesday. More importantly, where are you right now? Get your ass to the kitchen and start cooking my supper, you slacker. If there is even a single speck of dust in Henrietta's or the baby's room, I'll have your head on a plate. I mean it, young lady.
Fine.
Katie? What the hell is going on here? Explain yourself. Where are Henrietta and the baby? I just went to the hospital to pick her up for her discharge, but the nurses told me she was discharged yesterday. You told me she was getting discharged today, on Wednesday. What the hell do you think you're playing at? Answer me now. Katie!
Yep. Are you whining about my sister's discharge day from the hospital? You're right. It was yesterday.
What?
Henrietta was planning to stay at home with you for another 2 months, right? Apparently, she suddenly changed her mind and decided to go home.
What the heck are you talking about? None of what you're saying makes any sense at all. I haven't even seen my granddaughter yet. Why would she leave the hospital without letting me see her? Oh, the birth might have been tough, but this is where the real fight begins. Why would she turn down my help with bringing up her newborn baby? Does she know how difficult it is to care for a little human?
The fight, huh? You know, that could take on a double meaning given that you were planning to try and make Henrietta and her husband get a divorce.
Huh? Wait, how do you?
Thanks to your irresponsible spending, Dad's inheritance money is set to run out soon, right? But according to you, I'm just a good-for-nothing worthless neat who makes nothing more than pocket money at best. Since you already burned your bridges with me by being so hateful and abusive, the only person you have left in the world to rely on is Henrietta with her job at the major global company, right?
Burned my bridges? What are you talking about, dear?
My sister only needed the cot while she was here until the time she went back home after the birth. So you could have just had me put the baby's bed in her room with her, couldn't you? But instead, you went out of your way to have me move all of my things out of my room and forced me to live outside in the dog kennel to make a separate room for the baby. I guess my sister must have figured out what was going on when she found out I was living in the garden. She asked me to tell her everything, why I ended up living in the dog kennel, what else you'd been doing to me all this time since she moved out. I told her what you said to me. You know, that apparently she was thinking about divorcing her husband, Chris. You told me that the whole home birth thing was just a cover. That she could have a regular hospital birth with Chris there, but she was using it as an excuse to get away from him and had no intention of going home. I told her about all the lies you'd been filling my head with. Of course, I know they're lies now, but I didn't at the time.
Oh my God, are you being for real right now?
The whole thing with you wanting Henrietta and the baby to have separate rooms was just a ploy to lay the groundwork for her moving back in with you permanently, wasn't it? Obviously, she couldn't have her own room if I had mine, so you forced me to live in the dog kennel. Henrietta was livid when I told her. I swear I've never seen her that angry, not even close. It turns out her husband Chris is actually super nice. He was there while I told her everything, and he tried his best to calm her down while being really sympathetic towards me for everything you'd put me through. I don't know how I didn't realize it until now. Was it Stockholm Syndrome? Did I try and rationalize your abuse because I felt I had no way out? Jeez, I seriously don't know. But I know now. I'm done letting you treat me like crap, Mom. My eyes have been opened and I am never going back to that. I've been doing some thinking and I came to a decision. You should know I just got done escaping from you.
Huh? Katie, are you there? Where are all your things? All your belongings have disappeared.
Of course they have. I have no intention of ever coming back, so why would I leave my things behind?
But you have a responsibility to care and provide for me.
Huh? And what makes you think that?
You need to take responsibility for tattling about me to your sister, you goddamn irresponsible moron. Do you have any idea how much you've screwed things up for me? I don't care if I have to work you to the bone. I'm going to find you a job where you can make some real money, and you are going to work. I expect every cent of the money I spent on your education back, because it clearly didn't get you anywhere.
Sorry, Mom, but I really don't think I owe you anything.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure Grandpa paid to put me through school. And it was my big sis who paid my college tuition fees, which means I owe you a grand total of $0. Sorry, Mom, but your absurd demands aren't going to work with me. I suggest you find some other way to come up with the money you need to get by. I already gave you 90% of my wages every time I got paid at the part-time supermarket job I had in college. Ever since Henrietta got married and moved out around the time I graduated college and started working, I've been paying every cent of the rent and utilities on your house, haven't I?
Huh? The utilities? The rent?
And you know that's not all, because I paid for all of the groceries whenever I did the shopping, which I did a lot.
What?
Basically, I've been pretty much paying for you to exist ever since my sister moved out.
What? No way. Oh, this can't be.
Have you lost all conception of the fact it costs money to live?
I totally forgot.
Yep, that's what I thought. Anyway, the bottom line here is that I don't owe you a single cent, and I've more than paid you back for anything you've ever done for me, or rather, been forced to against my will, you frickin' salary thief.
Hey, don't call me that. But wait, how could you ever afford to pay all of that stuff? I thought you were a NEET.
It clearly didn't go in when I told you the last million times, so here's 1,000,001. I have a proper job and I earn a proper salary. If it still hasn't made it through that thick skull of yours by now, you have no one to blame but yourself. I don't care what happens to you, and you're not my problem anymore.
Oh my God, Katie, no! How could you be so horrible? I'll believe you from now on, I swear. Oh, please don't do this.
You must be one of the only people on Earth capable of being condescending while begging for mercy. You're unreal, Mom.
Huh?
I don't need your I don't need anything from you. I'm not coming home, and that's final. My sister and I are both done with your crap, and we never want to see you again.
What? Oh, Henrietta too? Oh my God, you can't be serious. Why would your sister do this to me?
What did you think she was going to do when she found out you were plotting to get her divorced to her husband? Anyone in their right mind would tell you where to stick it after that, and that's exactly what she's doing.
Fine, tell her I'm willing to forget the question of her divorcing Chris if she gives me another chance. Can you do that?
There goes the condescension again. You can't help yourself, can you?
Huh?
This is a waste of time. Bye.
Katie!
My big sister was always our mom's favorite. There was Henrietta, always getting the best grades in her class, winning at every sports day, getting into the best college in the state, loved, cherished, and adored. And then there was me, my only talent to draw pictures, disdained and hated. My sister told me this later on. But apparently the reason she decided on the home birth was to check on the situation with me and my mom at home and carry out a rescue operation if necessary. After we made our escape, she patted me on the head and said, "I'm sorry it took so long, sis." I, being a big crybaby, couldn't handle the emotion and burst into tears on the spot. As for my mom, who got left behind all on her own, no longer able to afford the rent on the house, she had no choice but to go back to our hometown to live with her great aunt. Last I hear, she currently spends her days being worked like a dog on her aunt's farm for less than minimum wage. For someone who spent so long living rent-free off of the hard work and effort of others, it must be pretty stressful. Oh well, she's not my problem now. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to help out the channel by liking and subscribing. Did you think Mom got what she deserved in this one?
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.